So in this video, I'm going to be talking about variables in computer programming. So what is a variable? A variable is just a container that stores data or values. A container that stores data or values. Let me try to explain what that actually means. So let's say you have a bottle. Okay, this is a bottle, and inside this bottle you put water. Okay, you put water, right? So this container in this regard, or in this example, is going to be our variable. It is a container that stores water. So the container itself is a what? Is a variable. Oh, think of it this way. Let's say we have a box. Okay, let's have a box. Then I'm going to say, like we used to do in mathematics, x is equal to what? X is equal to 2. So I get this 2, I come and place it in this box. So I remove that one, I place the 2 in this box. So now, this box or this container is storing a value of 2. So a variable is just simply a container that stores data or values. So this box now becomes our what? Our variable. Variable comes from the word varying, changing in value. Okay, changing in value. So meaning in this box we can store 3, 4, 5, any number that we want, but it's only permitted to store one value per time. Okay, so now a variable is just a container that stores data, data or values. Okay, so this example is quite an example I'm using so that you understand, but let's look at a more computer science related definition. So in computer science, what are we going to say that box is, or what that variable is? So a variable is a named storage location in a program that holds a value which can change during the program's execution. So now what I'm saying is this, if you have a laptop here, okay, you have a laptop. The basic computer architecture always works like this. You're going to have an input here, input, okay, then you're going to have here, you're going to have outputs. You remember the computer architecture we looked at in the previous videos? Then here we're going to have the CPU. Okay? Then down here we're going to have memory. So, one thing I want you to remember from your onset in the journey of programming is that computers cannot perform any operation without storing the data they want to use in memory. So for anything that a computer is going to use, the computer has to store that information in memory, and that is why variables are important. In the previous videos, we talked about memory being a block of pages. So this is what I've drawn here. This is page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. And we said these pages have addresses which are these ones below here. And these addresses are in hexadecimal numbers. So I'm saying that a variable is a named storage location. So now what will happen is that instead of storing these 2 in a box, the computer is going to store it in the memory here. So now let's say that I say x, okay, I'll say x is equal to 2. Then if I say x is equal to 2, it means the value of x is what is 2. So if I get this 2 from x here, and then I put it here, okay, I put it in this block, and then I name this block what? X. This means that the value in this memory page is what? Is 2. And then this hexadecimal value is going to be stored in this x here. Okay? So as a result now, in my computer program, what I'll be looking at is that I'll be saying, with my physical eyes or in my code, I'll be saying x is equal to 2. But as far as the computer is concerned, when you write this in a computer program, what the computer is saying is that where there is x, it's seeing this memory address. So for a computer, this statement looks like this. It says memory address ff, okay, that's 2 f's there. Memory address ffba is equal to what? Is equal to 2. So this equal to 2 means that this memory address here is storing a value of what? A value of 2. So now, whenever we get this memory address in a computer program or in a computer, and then assign it a name of our choice like X or my name or whatever it is, the name that we want to give it. So that is what a variable is. So a variable is a named storage location in a computer program that holds a value which can change during the program's execution. So what does which can change, okay, which can change here during the program's execution mean? It means that in this memory block here, once I'm done using the 2 in a calculation, okay, I can remove it, I can delete it from the computer, and hence it will be deleted from the what? From memory. That is what change means. So let's say for instance I said sum is equal to A plus B, okay, where A is equal to 1 and also B is equal to 2. Okay, so I'm going to store A in this memory block here. I'll say 1, the value of A. B, I'm going to store its value in this memory block B. So it's going to be 2 here. Okay, so meaning this memory address is pointing to A. Okay, and this memory address is now pointing to what? It's now pointing to B. And then 1 plus 2 will give us 3. The value of 3, I'm going to save it in this memory block. And then the meaning this memory address is going to be pointing to what? It's going to be pointing to S. So this is how computers operate. Whatever you write in a computer, it has to be stored in the memory page of the computer somewhere on the hard drive or on your solid state drive. So a variable is just a box that stores data. That box is actually what? The memory block. The memory block. So variables are a way of storing information in computer what? In computer memory. And then the name of the variable will become the what? The address. The name of the variable will be storing the address, just like in this case here. So this is the case, this is 1, 2. So this one is pointing to A. This one is pointing to B. So when the computer is now looking at things, looking at this code now, where there is A, the computer is seeing this memory address here. It will replace the memory address here. And where there is a B here, the computer will replace this memory address there. And where there is an S, the computer will replace this what? This memory address here. And meanwhile, these memory addresses are pointing to the values 1, 2, and what? And 3. So that is what a variable is. A variable, in conclusion, is just a box that stores data in our computer program. Or a variable, if you want to sound like a computer science and an advanced developer, which you are becoming now, is that a variable is a named storage location in a program that holds a value which can change during the program's execution. So just a named memory block, that is what you call what? A variable. So every time you hear the word variable in a computer program, please remember that we're talking about computer memory and storing information and data or values in computer memory. Variable directly points to computer memory. And why do we need variables? We need variables because it is very hard to remember hexadecimal numbers. Look, if you wanted to remember this equation, if you say S is equal to A plus B, it's easy for you to remember this. But now if we put hexadecimal addresses here, 0xF is equal to 0xff what plus 0ff whatever the case. This is very hard to remember. This is easy to remember. So variables makes it easy for us to play around with the memory addresses of a computer. Okay, so that's what variables are. They're just simply named storage locations in computer memory or in a computer program, and they hold values that can change during the program's execution. Okay, so that's what variables